It was just after midnight on a cold and rainy evening, and I had just turned off the television to go to bed for the night, when it occurred to me I had forgotten to take the trash cans to the curb for pickup the next morning. So I slipped on my raincoat and pulled up my hood for protection. As I walked the garbage can down the driveway, I saw something move in the shadows to my right. The hair stood up on the back of my neck. I got goosebumps running down my arms. I quickly put down the trash can, but it was too late. Whatever it was I could hear was now behind me. So I turned to face it, and I found myself looking at something that would change my life. I was standing nose to knee with a little black 40-pound soggy dog with ears that were way too big for its body. It looked like Yoda from Star Wars, is what it looked like. But she was scared, she was shivering, and she was lost. So I gave her refuge in my garage for the night. The next morning, I put up signs. Lost dog. I figured I would keep her for 2 weeks, and if nobody claimed her, I would take her to the pound and be done with it. Well, 2 weeks came and went, and nobody claimed her. So I figured my other 2 dogs already have grown fond of her, and if you've got 2, you might as well have 3, so I adopted her. And I named her, appropriately, Yoda. I quickly discovered that Yoda had 2 annoying habits. The first one is she buries her food. Every night, every morsel. I pour 3 bowls of food, she picks hers up, takes it to the back of the yard, digs a hole, scoops it out of the bowl into the hole with her nose, buries it, then she digs up the previous night's food burial, scoops that back into the bowl, and then drags the whole bowl, dirt and all, back over to where the other dogs are, and looks at them like they're crazy and they have no idea what they're missing. As a result, she seems to always have dirt caked to the end of her nose. I got tired of wiping it off and just left it, and changed her nickname to Yoda the Dirt Nose. Her second annoying habit: she jumps the fence. Every morning after I leave for work, she jumps the fence, goes around the front of the house to sit on the porch, and waits for me to come home every night. I actually thought it was kind of cute, but the neighbors didn't think so. They seemed a little bit concerned about the idea that there might be a dog loose to wander the neighborhood until I came home every night. And they threatened to call animal control. So I resolved to build the fence 2 feet higher. And to do so, I went out and I bought some lumber. And I placed it in the middle of the yard because I wasn't going to have time to build the fence for a while. I also took a single 2x4 and leaned it against the fence. The next day, I left for work. When I came home, Yoda wasn't on the front porch. Oh no, I thought. The neighbors must have made good on their promise. But when I looked in the backyard, there she was, tail wagging, greeting me and welcoming me home. I thought, I wonder why she didn't jump the fence. So the next day, when I pulled out of the driveway, I had forgotten my coat. So I pulled back in, and as I was going through the house to get my coat, I happened to look out the sliding glass door. And there I saw Yoda, staring at the 2x4. Perplexed. Apparently, I had put the 2x4 right where she jumps the fence. And though it was a 30-foot fence, it never occurred to her that she could go a foot to the left or a foot to the right and continue jumping. So, although she had big ears like Yoda from Star Wars, she didn't have the same capacity for reason. And as a result, her jumping days were over. So I took all that lumber back and planted a bush. And for the next 15 years, Yoda greeted me every day at the back door in the backyard. I wasn't there the day Yoda died. She drew her last breath in my mother's arms, looking into my mother's eyes. And I'll always regret that. But I'll never forget the 3 things that I learned from that little dog. The first is, whenever we're faced with a wall or an obstacle in life, oftentimes if we'll just back up a few steps and look at it with fresh eyes, we'll realize that if we just take a step to the left or a step to the right, that there's a solution to get around that obstacle. Secondly, we never know when we're in the middle of a major life lesson or something significant in our lives until after the fact. So it's important that we keep an eye out for those things, because for all we know, we may be in the middle of one right now. And finally, we never know who our teachers in life are going to be or what shape they're going to take. Because sometimes they might be in the shape of a little black soggy dog with ears that are way too big and a heart that's even bigger, with dirt perpetually attached to her nose.